Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my game dev diary. This is my roguelike project. We've been working on the random dungeon generator the last few videos, and now we're going to do the maths for the doors. So when we collide with the door, when we go through a door, then we can move to a different part of the dungeon. So these are the doors here. We've got door down, left, right and up, and one to the outside. So according to which one we collide with, then we can do a bit of maths to say whether we move up, down, left or right through the dungeon. So we need to create an actor behavior. I do not want to remove wonder. Create new behavior. Name. I'm going to call it door. Dungeon. Door. Math. Call it dungeon 1 because maybe we'll get to the stage where we make more than one dungeon. So then we want don't remove wonder. We might build more than one dungeon, so we might maybe want more than one type of dungeon door math. So this will be attached to the doors, and all we need is when created collide boolean, so that's kind of true false, so it starts off as true, and then once the one collide happens then set the false to allow the collision only happen once. Name first collide boolean hidden, okay, setters, and we'll set it to true, and then on collision with actor of type player character, myself, if is equal to true, that's going to be first collide, set first collide equal to false, and here comes the interesting bit of maths. So we're just going to attach this to every door. So we're going to say if type of self is equal to, kind of like the thing with the arrow. So where do we get the type of self things from? If type of self is equal to actor type. I hate this. Come on, move. Goes type of self is equal to door down. Okay. Let's type of self door down. Then we need to replace item. And we said second, so item 1 with get item from yeah, hold on. Why am I being silly? Am I being silly? Dungeon player. Get item 1 and then as number. We're going down, so we're going to add 1 to it. So that means we're moving down the array. So we're going south, so add 1. And that's in player position. Okay, so we need to copy that, paste, if type of self is door up, replace item, yeah, it's still Y, so it's still item 1, but it's going to be -1 this time because we're moving up in the array. And copy those, paste, and door left, paste item 0 with item 0, and it's going to be -1 because we're going left. We're going to go to the left list. item 0, item 0, and it's +1 in door right. So this bit of maths tells us, depending on what type of door we collide with, what to do with the player position array so that we can move through our lists appropriately. So hopefully that's clear. And then all we need to do then is attach this behavior to the doors. So close arrow movement. Pardon me. Actor types, door down. Behaviors. What did I call it? Door maths or something like that? Dungeon 1 door maths. Choose. That was down door, left door. The outside door will be slightly different because it's going to switch to a different scene. Ha! We do need to switch to a different scene. Good thinking. That would look rather silly because nothing would have happened. Behaviors. If I hadn't done a scene change. So that's attached to all types of doors. So we need to go back to the dungeon door maths and then scene game flow. So fade out for 0.1 seconds and fade in for 0.1 seconds. Cool. And we need to put the player character. So this is going to be, we're going to have to move the player character according to what door he goes through, but that's for probably a different behavior, I think. So we'll just place the player character in the dungeon, but we'll move him about with the behavior. Once we make sure this bit's working. So outside dungeon, test. And then we go down the stairs, and then hopefully it'll randomly create a dungeon that we can now walk about. Fingers crossed. So we can't go left or right, we have to go down. And is that right, our first? Yeah, so our dungeon here, on our logs, which if you look at where the mouse is pointing, that means that that's the room we're in, so we should go down one, and then we can't go down any further, and all we can do is go right, so it should be down, and then right, this dungeon. So can we go through the door? We can. Ha, so why can't we go up? We technically should be able to go up, but we can't. So we'll go right. And then we can go left or right, so that's good. Left or right's good again. Left or right. And I think the next one we should be hitting the far wall, which we are. Cool. And then we can go back through the dungeon. So it's almost right. I'm quite happy with that. And we're back to start. That's this the north door's not quite right. So we'll close this and cancel. I've forgotten to put the full screen mode in there, which is probably a bit annoying for you watching on the video because it'll probably be quite small, but I'll throw that in now. Events uncreated. So probably luckily the last few videos have been simply just talking about coding because the actual game bits were quite small. So we need to check why the north wall is not a door. So one, it should be, it's a different type of wall. It should be wall top. And wall top, so that should get it looking, but that should have been a door. So something's wrong with the maths. So get item 1. Get item 1 minus 1 is number. So I bet that's because bet that's because we've defined it as 1. Could set that every time, couldn't we? I think we can. So we'll just on the outside dungeon, on the dungeon to stairs, on this part we'll replace item, copy this. I think it's just because it's a funny, whoops, I think it's simply because it's we've left the default value as 1.0, whereas the rest of them are all 1s. It's when we haven't changed the value for the first part of the first list. We set it as the initial value, which is 1, which is in this part here. So you set that as 1. So what we probably want to do is set that through here. So replace item 0 with 1 in dungeon list 1 as number, and we want to replace it with item 0 with 1 as number. Hopefully that's it. I'm not quite sure. Let's go have a wee look anyway. And hopefully the dungeon's a bit different this time around, so we can go still explore it. The doors look a bit out of place in full screen mode, but oh well. I wonder why it's so laggy. Weird. Oh, at least the door's in the right place, so we can go exploring. I still don't think they're at quite the right place, but I can't go anywhere. So got the doors anyway in the right place, and we can go exploring around the dungeon, even if it is a bit laggy. Can we go down here? Haha, and now we're stuck. That wasn't meant to happen. Oh, we can push that. Why are we pushing it? Be able to push that. Something's not quite right there, and we've lost our player character. Whoopsies. That was a bit silly. So we should be able to go down too. Something's still not quite right here. It's close, but it's not quite right. It must be in the door wall creators, and it's definitely the north ones. So get item 0 from player position. So you got 0, create door outside. So it's not outside. Otherwise, if item 1 is equal to 0, see, that's where it's going wrong. It should be, no, that's if you're in, yeah, if your player position is equal to 0, then you are at the utmost, so yeah, that's okay. So player position minus 1 from active list. Minus 1 is plus. I think that's where we're going wrong. I think that just needs to be -1. So get item number 1, so that'd be your Y, and if you're get item, I think that's it there. Just check. So if we go to the south door, it should be -. So I was right for the south but wrong for the north. So I'll give it another wee quick test. So outside dungeon test scene. So a pity with the full screen mode we can't see in the logs what the dungeon is meant to look like, but we'll walk through here. So we can go left and down. Oh, we can go down this time. Cool. Well, hopefully we can go up. We can. That's the door sorted there. It's pity it's just so laggy. So how far can we go right? Oh, we're going quite far right. Cool. So that's our random dungeon generator, generating our random dungeon. What we need to kind of do then is hopefully still can't get quite why there's wee white lines and around the doors and the walls. Wonder if you can pick that up in the video, but there's kind of like almost like a wee outline border around the doors and walls of the actors, so not the actual tiles but the ones we've created. So hopefully we'll be able to get them blending into the scene, or do something so it doesn't look quite as obvious what we've done. But quite happy with our random dungeon generator and the fact that it does randomly create a dungeon that we can walk around. So I think next up is to start populating the random dungeon with some items, some enemies, and also then get it where if we exit this room on the right, then we enter the next room on the left. So I don't think that should be that hard to do. Probably just a bit more maths in the game attributes, just store as a value, and then we'll set, according to that value, we'll set where to spawn the player character. So as always, thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions for the game, please leave it in the comments. Kind of glad that's the most of the random dungeon generator coding done. It took quite a while there to get it all finished up, so I'm happy that it's pretty much all done. So hopefully look forward to kind of actually start making the dungeon fun to play with enemies and items, which we'll do next time. So catch you then. See ya.